Hey Gemini, welcome to Dark Eve Tarot. I'm Eve. We're going to get you a message. We're going to take a look at delusions, desires, and dependencies. These are all things that can trip us up on our path in our life. So I've pulled 3 oracle cards, one for each delusion, desire, dependency. And just keep in mind, Gemini, that this is not an accusatory reading. This can be either energy coming from you or energy coming at you. Now, I'm going to just use the word you to make it simple for the reading, but put yourself as the giver or the receiver, depending on how it fits for you. So, let's look at delusion. So, the delusion we have for you is the god of rain and fertility here. And it's kind of tricky because you can use the rain, the water, right, to irrigate and to water the flowers and the crops, to make fertile, bounty and all that stuff. But if you don't have enough water, then you got a drought. If you have too much water, you've got a flood. So it's like beneficial, but it can also destroy. So the delusion here, Gemini, is how weak or strong something actually is. It's like the Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Too hot, too cold, or just right. That's hilarious. So while I was shuffling, I was like, just tell us the truth. We don't want to know what the delusion is. We want to know the truth. And we get the Ace of Swords. All right. So the truth is King of Wands and the 5 of Swords. That's weird. It doesn't matter what you want, they'll still follow you. It doesn't matter what you want, they'll still follow you. Why am I getting that? It's like too hot to handle. I feel like the King of Wands, like the 5 of Swords is like not handling it correctly, and the King of Wands is like too hot, right? It's like the truth is that it's too hot to handle. So it's a lot warmer than you think it is. It's a lot hotter. It's a lot there's more fire than you're aware of in whatever this delusion is. It has which means it has fire, the fire element, like it has more action, it has more passion, it's stronger, something has more force than you think it does. You're downplaying something here. That's the delusion. So let's look at desires. So we have the actual Santa Muerte card here in the Santa Muerte Oracle deck. So in general, just this card is about endings and beginnings. The beginning is the end. The end is the beginning. But it can also be a card about, like paying back. Like you're given life and then you go back into the ground and it makes more life. It's really talking about cycles here. But it also talks about being careful about the things that you cut out. Be careful about the things that you cut off, or end. Because if you're not careful, there may not be good that comes from it. And so This is in the desire section for you, Gemini. So it's either you or someone else that has this dangerous desire to quickly cut something off. And whatever the situation is, it's like it's calling for no rash decisions. There are bigger like cycles at play here. This is like something about like nature's law or universal law. Five of Pentacles. Well, that's the opposite of getting what you desire. Three of Pentacles, that's even a further reduction. But at least with the Three of Pentacles, there's some kind of alignment here. This is getting your ducks in a row. This is like sorting through something and like figuring out what's really important, because you see this one coin is much bigger than the other two. And here we have the Two of Cups. It's interesting. This is a different depiction of the Two of Cups. It's like normally the Two of Cups is like a mini lover's card, but this is different because you've got two cups filled with blood, right? And the bat's only going for one of them. Like this is a choice. This is like a choice being made. It's like be very careful about the choice that you make. So really it was already said in this card here. It's like don't let your desires push you. Don't let your desires rush you, because you could end up going without, or, well, no, there is no or. You can end up going without, because this is about the choices. This is about choosing the right thing, and this is like a consequence. So now let's look at the third dependencies. So dependency for Gemini is you got the shadow card, Gemini. You got the shadow card. Look at all of those shadow skeletons pulling at you. All right, so this card here is it's about the shadow. It's about the part of yourself, like the shadow part. Like, I mean, most of the readings I do in this channel are shadow readings. But, the shadow is like that part of you that, well, a lot of people don't listen consciously to their shadow. Of course, they do subconsciously. And they still allow their actions to be fueled by the shadow, but they don't really sit down and get to know the shadow. There's also something else about this card as far as just the intended meaning in the deck, and it has to do with black and white thinking, all or nothing, this or that, and that is a very logical way of thinking, which I think is a crutch for you, Gemini. Depending too much on this or that, or all or nothing, or, you know what I mean? It's like forgetting about duality. Like keeping the poles separated, like, yep, nope, it's either good or bad. It's light or dark. When something can be both. So let's pull cards. We'll get 3 of these. Dependency on logic and black and white. Dependency on polarity. It reminds me of that old saying about you need to pick a side, pick a side of the road, because if you're in the middle, you're gonna get run over. Like as if that were ingrained, in you somehow, or at least had an influence in this dependency. 9 of Blades, that's a headache. It's like it can get you in trouble, because also, like, just in psychology, I think that black and white thinking or all or nothing thinking is a cognitive trap. And this right here, it's like that trap, that headache, gives you a headache. And here we have the Hierophant. And this is where your, like, something spiritual comes in, right? Where you have, either an awakening or something kind of opens up in you, and to where you're receptive to alternative beliefs that are outside that rigid logic. When you can finally, like, something happens and you don't right away write it off as a coincidence. You know what I mean? Where you're like, okay, well, maybe, maybe some things are magical. I don't know. Here, so yeah, it's clouding you. It's clouding your vision. And so here it's like, Gemini, you run the risk, like, to be dependent so much on polarity and logic, it has the potential to cause even another delusion. Which sucks, because it's like Geminis they're not cool with delusion. At least in my opinion, it seems like, like no, I want the truth. So anyway, this is your message. Take what resonates, and I will see you next time. Bye, Gemini.